The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation.
The Foundation with Hearts Grant is brought to you by Alive, Bahamas Welding and Fire, Better Living Health Center, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Department of Inland Revenue, Epic Battery, Marco's Pizza, Pinder Towel, Prince Masters, Ron's Electric Motors, and Star General, Insurance Made Simple.
The Foundation. The Foundation.
Get up, dancing shoes. Get up, put on your bright, happy smile, baby. Get up, come on, let's dance, drink and shout. Go make some Thursday again in Nassau town. Go make some Thursday again in Nassau town. When you're in Nassau, this time of year, when you're in Nassau, have no fear. Pleasant smiles that greet you each year. It's holiday time again in the island every day, yeah. So get up, put on your street dancing shoes. Get up, put on your bright, happy smile, baby. Get up, come on, let's dance, drink and shout. Go make some mercy again in Nassau town. Go make some mercy again in Nassau town.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The Foundation live and in full effect right here on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Guys, we are a couple days, about 5 days away from the end of this month. I hope you guys are winding up and doing what you're supposed to as it relates to being able to ensure that you get your first quarter taken care of, all those persons who got businesses and preparing for your business license and want to be able to ensure that you have everything aligned. You want to be able to ensure that you have those things available. Guys, I don't know. I mean, if you have an accountant company and you do this thing freelance, why don't you give me a call? Come here, sit down with me and tell people about these particular services that you can offer. QuickBooks services, other services that you can help them to be able to ensure that there's a sense of efficiency within their business. And different software that you have to be able to assist them, the training, so forth and so on. You got to think about these things. I don't know how you ought to do your business. I don't know. And I get in your business. But I'm simply saying that you got to be able to touch all the areas. You got to touch all the parts of and possibilities of how you can be able to get this income. One thing about entrepreneurs, money is very inconsistent in this society. You don't find those things flourishing. They have, identified set of customers that they can always depend upon, but we don't have that kind of an expansion because everyone's like a American cafeteria in the 90s. They got the little click here, the little click there, the little click here, and the jocks hang with the jocks. The cheerleaders hang with the cheerleaders. That's sort of the business that a lot of entrepreneurs, especially new entrepreneurs, face in this particular space. But I wanted to be able to, like free-range chicken, I wanted to be able to have an opportunity to be able to reach far and wide with this platform that I have here. And that's why we do Small Business Thursday. So if you're in that kind of a position and you want to talk about some things that you're doing, please do so. Come with me. And let's talk about whether that's accounting, whether that is persons preparing themselves to get some visas who haven't traveled for a long time, whether that's information, whether that's workshop, whether that is being able to pull some people together and really being able to do this moving forward. We could do that. And I'd love to be able to talk to you about it. You know what to do. Give me a call, 827-0111. We're here on this beautiful Wednesday, guys. You got to be able to give me, well, I got Garth coming in the studio, but he's supposed to be coming in. He told me he's going to be here early. I don't see him, but he's maybe 2 steps away being able to come in with us today. But I got to shout out my good decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They got everything laid out for you. Make sure you check them out, man. We're getting to the end of the month, beginning of the next month, and you're still in this kind of a position. The first quarter is gone. You have, life has hit you with the blows that it normally does, right? It can hit you with some blows. I mean, don't fight it. It can hit you with some blows. That's just life. But our responsibility is to stand steadfast, firm, and move towards this thing that we call to move towards with passion and determination, fixed. Our eyes and our hearts fixed on this purpose that we were called to, and being able to get those things done. So I say all that to say, guys, give my guys a shout out or give them a call over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. The numbers, you can reach out to them as 1AFS, 242-3411-AFS, and they could be able to assist you in that area. They're located number 407 Blue Hill Road South. Blue Hill Road South. I want to have a good conversation with you guys today. I really do. Make sure you pick up the Guardian newspaper. All the information's in there. Print out, hit back. Sir Franklin, FNM leader, says that he will not back down. Pintat pledges commission of inquiry. Fee could fuel strong China trade in region, right? Davos concerned about the uptick reported in suicides and says that the government is working to bring on mental health nurses. I think they got some of them in Cuba, you know. Anyway, Bahamas not impacted by Venezuela oil threat from the United States of America. This is what JoBeth Kobe has said. The Free National Movement had something last evening. I got a couple calls and they asked me whether or not they could have a representative come and sit with me this week. So we kind of carved some time out on Friday, and they put someone, and that particular person was busy, and so we don't know whether or not they're going to have another person come in that slot. If not, we're going to have a good conversation despite, and I kind of rearranged it for next week sometime to be able to do that. I want to be able to reach out to, I'd like to have a conversation with Chester Cooper, and I don't know whether or not his schedule will allow it, but I'd like to have a formal conversation, both administrative and political conversation with Chester Cooper. I would like to do that. Chester Cooper has been relentless in his posture and his position, has created a great deal of opportunities. Even the controversy that continues to be able to follow Exuma, in the event that this thing happened, it would benefit Chester Cooper. There's a great deal of things that is happening, and very subtly, I think that he's preparing himself for future endeavors, right? In politics and in national leadership. So I'm looking at him and I'm watching it with interest to be able to see those particular things. Today, I want to be able to talk to you about the leadership that exists in these things. We're still going to be able to talk leadership and still break those particular things down. Like I said, the Free National Movement had an event last night. Garth said that he was out there. He talked about it, and talking about it, he broke it down and told me the numbers, told me the concepts, the ideas, some persons that he was able to touch. And out of this conversation birthed this sort of an idea of how we're looking at the next dispensation of leaders and what the expectations are from those particular leaders. So today, I'd like to kind of dive into that and jam with you in that particular perspective, in that area. But I'd like you to give me a call today, right? Give me a call and be a part of the conversation. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere for the Family of Violence, 242-300-5720, or you can hit me up, 422-4796. Guys, let me take this quick commercial break right at the top, and when we get back, we're going to dive into this conversation right after this.
Foundation. The foundation.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Calling all Alive Fiber basketball fans. Get ready to experience the NBA Finals live. You can enter an all-expense-paid trip to not one, but 2 NBA Finals games. It's simple. Just sign up for our Alive NBA League Pass or Infinite Sports X package by May 16th. Stay connected, enjoy blazing fast internet, and score your chance to witness the NBA action up close. Don't miss out. Visit AliveFiber.com and take your shot at NBA glory. Terms and conditions apply. It's good to be alive.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from around the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. Fork Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Introducing the Get Fit 7 Weeks Wellness Program led by prominent dietitian Dr. Ida Mehana. This program will benefit pre-diabetics, diabetics, people with high blood pressure and cholesterol. What can you expect? Hemoglobin A1C and cholesterol testing, health education, exercise, and cooking classes for only $295. Program starts Tuesday, April 1st at 6 p.m. at the Better Living Health Center. For more info, WhatsApp us at 323-5473.
Foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday afternoon, hump day. As you get things that's happening out there in the studio with me is none other than Garth Roseborough. My brother, say good afternoon to the people out there.
Good afternoon, Howard. It was a pleasant night last night with that shower that blessed us, all that rain. So for those farmers and those people who are waiting for their crops, that's a good sign. So we're about to get into the rainy season. So as you spoke with AFS insurance and so forth, you know the rainy season also brings the hurricane season. And so I would invite those people once again to follow Howard's advice, get your insurance. This is the time for insurance. I just had a great time last night. I was there at the F&M
You know, I can't
meeting.
go to those things, right?
Huh?
I can't go to those things.
You can't go? Well, the reason why...
Every time I show up, see, okay, this is, in my head, this is how I set it up, right? My commitment to this space, my commitment to the foundation, my commitment to neutrality, this kind of a middle-of-the-road concept of being able to deal with the F&M, the PLP, the COI, or anyone from a political standpoint on the quote-unquote nationalism or quote-unquote the constitution of the country. I have to now put in my head, I can't go out to these events because I don't want perception. How would you come to this, you know? And F&Ms, they're not indecent people, they're decent people. Or the first thing they say to me when I go to these things, how would you come back home, mate? You can,
now you can say you
come back home, mate.
You can say you're afraid of that.
No. Calm down. So I will go out, but it has to be in a formal capacity, like how we did the R.M. Daily thing, like how we did the convention thing, like how we do the press secretary. I mean the pressers, right? So if you sat there with a booth and that. But you out there floating.
Oh, me?
You go to F&M and PLP. Talk to me.
Well, everybody wants to label me, but people basically want to know what side of the fence I'm on. I've always been on the side of the people. Always. I've never changed from that. I do believe that you and I share something in common, that we are people of truth. The truth is simply the truth. If I a person who that you dislike, well, then that's fine. You dislike me. It's just good to know that you do. If you like me, you like me. You love me, you love me. It's just the way the world is. What amazes me with politicians and people in politics and those who are political fans is how petty you can get. It's like you want to look at yourself as being perfect all the time. Nothing is ever wrong with you. But then at the same time, we all could see that the emperor has no clothes. What the heck you thinking? You know, I was there, and the reason why I went Howard Grant is because you and I sit in this space, and I'm a guest of yours. But I wanted to make sure that at this particular time, I want the PLP, the FNM, the COI, and everyone else who is in this competition to know that I am watching you. I will be there. I'm not going to assume, or I'm not going to read into an article, even though I do believe the Guardian newspaper does an excellent job, and there are other newspapers you can look at. There are other radio stations you can listen to. But this I will tell you, as I sit in this space, honorably so, I am going to be there to tell you what I see. And I'm not going to be biased. Like Howard is saying, I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to speak for the nation on this national platform in a fair and a just way. It is what it is. And at the appropriate time, Howard, I do believe that you have now becoming this polling genius, that you and I will be able...
Hold on.
Yeah, you come here with your AI
I
poll.
know polling genius.
You know they can call you on that.
I know polling
But
genius. Now.
my whole thing is that the
You
time...
gotta go call him Wale for that.
There's a time that comes in our country when we are able to truly determine who is going to be victorious in the upcoming election. And I'm waiting for that day when we can sit here and say the day is here. We don't have to say who it is, but we know at that particular point the die would have been cast.
You and I had a strategic conversation last night that I'd like to be able to air out and talk about that. We talked about the contrast that exists in the mindset of leadership.
Yes.
And how leaders have a responsibility of being able to make or deduce their plans now. One of the things that spilled out in the conversation that we spoke about last night is the fact that the country is seeking and waiting for Michael Pintard to make a decision as it relates to who he will ratify in those constituency, and based upon the team that he pulled together, they would know his strength, weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. Because they got to make a SWOT analysis based upon these people.
I'm only
right?
laughing because you crack a joke, and I don't even know if you know the joke, but everything cool.
What's the joke?
You see the man singing, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
No, I say that, right?
No, but he's saying that. He's saying, what the hell you waiting for? You know?
I'm looking...
And so I am sharing your sentiment. The people want to know. There's some MPs who want to know Braxton Bowe. He's running for Pinewood. And I understand that he brought the most people to that function last night, so they won the $1,000 for their association. So
Braxton Bowe for the Free National...
for the Free National Movement. So if this guy is showing great behavior, great potential, why can't you just tell us that you're going with Braxton? But why can't you just tell us that Brian Brown has been in the ditches all these years? He's been consistent. He's doing a fair job. You're going to name Brian Brown. Tell us you're going to name him or you're not going to name him. It's either you're with these people or you're not with these people. But by now, this is the fault, I feel, of the FNM. You should have already, as a national party, someone who's been in national leadership and international representation of this country, by now you should have given us at least 15 to 18 of those members of
Now, I would
representatives.
I'll take the sentiment that Dr. Sands has taken and said that the Miami Dolphins of the 70s ain't the same Miami Dolphins of the day. Now, that's my point. My point to you is that the decisions that we would have seen yesteryear in the Free National Movement are not the decisions that we're seeing today. And so that could work on two ways.
Oh, tell me how it works.
It could work two ways.
Tell me how.
It could work in his benefit to be able to identify that the potential that the FNM has is great, but it could also be a second side to that coin.
Please tell us.
And we could look at this and said, we've already known the FNM to give us certain markers. We haven't seen those markers. We don't know how to deduce not the FNM, but the leadership that sits in this particular position. Now, you and I had this conversation last night, and I want to be able to air it out on air and open up the line so you guys can be able to contribute and participate in those areas. Now, I said there was a name that popped up in certain constituencies. Let's not say what the constituency were. There was a name that popped up in certain constituencies, and I said this particular person may have a difficult time in getting the nomination because of the ilk of this particular constituency, right? Let's just be decent. I don't want to call constituencies because you can know who I'm talking about, right? And I said the difficulty that this person will have is he's going up against strong people with the potential to sit in this particular position. And even if he gets this nomination for the Free National Movement, he's not going to be victorious, as I see. He's not going to be as victorious as he imagines or envisions that he can be, simply because of what he will be up against.
Okay.
And then I said to you, this is why Michael Pintard needs to be able to identify his people now.
Yes.
Because we, the community, those people who are participating, who are seeking to be able to get involved, young people, so forth and so on, we need to see whether or not you got Elijah Wan, whether or not you got Magic, whether or not you got Reggie Miller. Who is your dream team? Who are the persons that we know without a shadow of a doubt that in both their public's lives and in their private lives, they have been doing well, and the FNM is able to pull them from the COI or pull them from corporate Bahamas and pull them from the private sector and pull them out of government, and they are convicted and convinced that the FNM has a plan to transform this country, and they are willing to take that step.
So honestly, tell us now, is that lacking or is that actually
I don't
there?
see it. That's what I'm saying to you. I don't see it now.
Okay.
I can't say that it's not in the works. I cannot say that the FNM is not having significant conversations with people, because we've heard that, God, let's be honest. We've heard people say, the FNM, I get a call, but I ain't know yet.
Okay. I was there last night, right? I was there last night. And of course, I just want to thank those people who were there, who greeted me warmly. No one threw any stones at me. No, they hit me no wood and not like that. Tell me get out of here. They're like, man, it was so great to see me there. I spoke to several people, and of course, they listened to the foundation. They say, you know what? We enjoy the program. I enjoy you and Howard sitting there and having these conversations about us. One person in particular said to me, for God's sake, God, you got to help us. You got to talk for us, man. You got to be more kind to us. And I said to them, is anything that I'm saying on the air untruthful? I spoke to one of the executive people that was there, who's family to me, of course, and he says, just be patient, the time is going to come when we're going to be able to come out of the gate. My problem with that is only that you ain't come out the gate yet. And I feel that you should have been on the gate by now. Now, it's not my organization, it's not me to say so.
But the gate don't open till June 6th, by the way.
When the government says it open,
The government has already identified. The government has in its hand, they wield this wand, this stick, to say when we go, when we don't go. And if the government said we're going to cast our official bid for re-election come June 6th, that means that you have to have everything in place to be able to move in that direction.
So when are you going to get ready between April and June? Let me hear this.
I don't know. You and I know.
That's a 2 month window.
You and I know that the Free National Movement and the PLP traditionally in this country, historically, have taken off time for Lent and not necessarily contributed. Over the years, just like Sunday shopping, we've seen them open the gates to that and persons being able to touch the ground and so forth and so on. One time ago, it's a cardinal sin to see any colors on the ground during Lent. That doesn't happen now.
No.
So persons are now walking the ground, so forth and so on, but parties are not formally making decisions within the season of Lent, within the time of Lent. And so even right after Lent, we see that the PLP is rolling into something, and there could be an expectation that the FNM will do the same thing.
So if they're doing the same thing that the PLP is doing, then what are the people of the Bahamas looking forward to in terms of this unstoppable change?
I can tell you, let's go to our telephone line and find out. 323-254-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the Family of Islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Call on the line, go ahead.
Hey, hello?
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Howard?
I'm good, man.
Thank you for having me, man. I have a question for your guest, Garth. Have you ever been involved in a political party?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, so so you have some appreciation for how our parties work and what goes into the picking of candidates.
I was actually a candidate for 2012, and
Okay.
I was the leader of a party up until 2020.
Okay, were any of those parties ever won government?
Yes.
I
will say this to you publicly now. I was actually the deputy strategist for the caucus for the Progressive Liberal Party from 2011 to 2012 election. The by-election was when we started, and we went into City of Gold Rush. I was the deputy strategist.
Okay, just trying to get a temperature of your experience and exposure in actual political party.
Okay,
right.
Good.
So when it comes to picking a candidate, I disagree with your commentary a bit about the speed and the FNMs and PINTAD's approach to picking candidates.
That's okay.
And the reason I called, and I think your commentary when it comes to, I think the young man, Bo, you mentioned Bo and Pinewood, they should just ratify him because he brought the biggest crowd out tonight.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
There's a lot more. There's a lot. Hold on, let me land my plane.
Yeah, but that's not
there's
what I'm saying.
a lot more that goes into picking a candidate than who can bring a crowd out to one event. There are a number of aspirant candidates in that particular constituency. That one for sure, Denari Roll, who's extremely qualified.
But that's not the point I'm making. The point I was
What's
making.
his name? Denari Roll?
Denari Roll.
The point I'm making
right?
is that either you have recognized him with the potential to, or you've not. You have 7 people.
I get your point.
You got 7 people in one constituency. You haven't even whittled it down to 2.
Let me make my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me make my point. And I get your point.
Okay.
But there's a lot that goes into it.
Okay.
And of course, you have the vetting, you have the character of the person, you have the vision of the person. Of course, there's the community aspect of it.
Yes.
And the FNM is not a fly-by-night party.
So you're going to fly straight past the 2026 election, you keep this up. You're going to fly straight past. I'm not trying to be rude to you, but if you keep this up, you're going to fly straight past 2026. I promise you that. I will guarantee you that.
Point, man. You keep,
go ahead.
Man, Howard, the guest keep
you taking long to land the plane, man. Land the plane.
Let him go.
Land the plane, man.
Let him go. You keep interrupting.
All of y'all take long to do things. Land the plane.
So there's a lot that goes into it.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I agree.
And so I think your commentary in regards to what the FNM should do is a little premature. That's the second thing. The third thing is when it comes to the opposition, they have to. The opposition don't call no shots, you know. And this is the point that Howard Grant was making, is that the opposition has to run at the pace of the government. You can't run past the government, and you can't be too far behind. That's the difficult part about opposition.
You think so?
I'm telling you.
COI been far ahead of y'all long time. Right now on the streets, right now, in the Bahamian people's eyes, the COI has been stronger than you. I promise you that. I promise you that.
You have your circus that you speak to.
No, it's not a circus. I am a truthful man. I'm saying to you.
Unless you could present some empirical evidence and data, I would push back on your statement.
Listen, you articulate. You are quite correct. It's best to get through the candidates. You have been selecting, looking, observing, putting together your plan from 2021. It's 2025. And I would have thought that COVID-19 would have taught you a lesson, that you can delay for tomorrow what you could do today. And I have not seen today, and I'm saying to you, you know this as well as I know this. We're not living in a yesterday's generation. We're not living in a tomorrow's generation. We're living in the now generation. And we need to see some now from the Free National Movement.
All that sounds good, right? But do you know the PLP ratified candidates up to the year of election?
The PLP has 32 candidates at this present point.
And they wiped the board. So your statement of, you have to ratify now doesn't
okay, don't do it. Don't do it.
Test of time.
Don't do it.
It don't stand up against the test of time.
Kalal, I didn't know that you were geared up to be able to do this. If I didn't know that, I'd call you come sit in the studio with me.
Yeah.
When you're ready to do this, let me know. When you will come sit with me.
And I'll finish this. I'll finish with this point. Michael Pintard and the FNM, Shandon Cartwright, Dwayne Sands, I think they are doing a phenomenal job in preparing not just the FNM for election, but the country for an FNM government. And that is much deeper and much broader than just quickly ratifying candidates to satisfy people who want candidates on the ground.
Yeah, don't satisfy us. Do not satisfy the people.
Let me know when you're ready, Kalal.
Don't do it.
Thank you, sir.
Kalal, let me know when you're ready so you can come sit with me, eh? You're gone. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it is election season, and I see because he was a little bit,
Yeah, I know, but I ain't gonna fight him. Tell him come inside here. Let's talk.
All right, guys. Let me take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
I've been up at Penda and I meet him in the showroom. I said, Penda, Portugal, and let me tell you something, damn showroom and selection ain't got nothing on yours. Man, I like this stock of porcelain and ceramic tile you got here. What I really like is the range of sizes that come in, 8 by 48, 12 by 24, 24 by 24, and what I really, really like more than the things I really like is the price. From $275 a square foot to $494 a square foot and all in between. You can't beat that, not even with a 2x4 from Enterprises.
Why settle for the typical burger? when you can indulge in the Steakhouse Bacon Whopper at BK. The king is raising the stakes with a masterpiece that combines all of your favorite steakhouse flavors. A juicy flame grilled beef patty topped with A1 steak sauce, crispy onion, savory bacon, Swiss cheese, creamy peppercorn aioli with fresh lettuce and tomato. It's a steakhouse experience you can hold. Crafted the BK way. The Steakhouse Bacon Whopper is bursting with flavor. Only available for a limited time at Burger King Nassau.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients, while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
Spring into savings with BWF. March Madness Spring Clearance and Tent Sale, Saturday, March to 5 p.m. Get up to 50% off. If you're spring cleaning, home improvement, gardening, barbecuing with friends and enjoying the outdoors, remodeling your kitchen or need new appliance, get hopping with BWF. Awesome savings you don't want to miss. Slash prices and great buys on appliances, power tools, generators, compressors, water pumps, hardware, lawn and garden supplies, barbecue grills, household kitchen and outdoor cooking supplies, automotive supplies and accessories, craft supplies, floral decor, clearance on all toys, and much more. BWF, we are more than just our name. Number 13 Wilton Street, telephone 394-0004 or 6. Check us out on Facebook and we ship to the Family Islands.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant, your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect, having a good conversation here with Garth Roseborough. The numbers you can dial today. Give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere for the Foundry of Islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Now, let me hit a couple of things.
Go ahead.
The caller just now, right? And I don't know if I shouldn't call your name. But the caller just now, everybody know your voice. Behave yourself. He calls and he actually starts to be able to state a couple of things, right? That the FNM moves at a specific pace, and the pace of the government actually, they set the pace for which political activity happens in the country. Both the government and tradition does that, Garth. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Both the government and tradition sets a standard and a particular pace that there's an expectation to be able to run like this. Like I said to you, historically, persons do not do anything within the season of Lent. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Now, over the years, just like Sunday shopping, like I said to you, they've opened this particular thing up, and you can see people hitting the ground with this kind of, with no regard to the religion and no regard to the season that we're in from a religious standpoint. They're not concerned about that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the government of the day, we don't necessarily hear that they're making decisions to move forward.
Okay.
We don't hear that. We only see them ramp up. You understand? The PLP has taken on this position to articulate when they're going to start their bid for re-election, which is June 6th. Yesterday, I said to you, it's a peculiar thing that simultaneously we heard them say we go into re-election bid. And whilst we hear United States of America taking on this position to say that these people go into a plea, these people is going to be able to, turn crown. That's what we say now with that. All of these elements, and you and I, with our ears on the ground, understand the responsibility that every political organization should have to identify their strength, to identify their weaknesses, the opportunities and the threats that threaten their victory come next general election.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we see those things, there is an expectation that the FNM at least start to shave down these candidates in these various constituencies.
That's all I'm saying.
Right?
That's all I'm saying.
Now, for me and for a great deal of people, for that 35% that didn't vote, for that 35% that go out to the parliamentary registration department to be able to get this ID for the purposes of being able to say that I am old enough to vote, look at my voter's card, but never use that yet. The FNM needs to be able to present a dream team. A dream team, okay? And we have to use the terminology of a dream team because it has to be out of this world, that we can be able to see strength coming from every subsector of our society: private, public, corporate, education, legal, doctors, this, that, and you can pull these things together. That was the strength of Hubert Ingram. Hubert Ingram had a diverse set of Bahamian men and women that were willing,
and I liked them,
to serve, and the whole country liked them.
We embraced them, we loved them, we were so happy to see them. Yes.
Okay.
It was their time. Yes.
When Hubert Ingram approached these people, right? Some of them would tell me, well, I was a FNM, or I was a PLP, or this and that. But when Hubert Ingram, this is before Papa, when Hubert Ingram presented them and came to them with not a bunch of words, with a plan, with a vision, with an idea, with determination, they said, I am on board. Bam!
That's all they said.
They was willing to put their resignation in today. Hubert Ingram had to say to them, no, hold on, we can do this, we can do that, we can do the next thing.
Thank you.
Zhivago Lang said this to us. I got to call his name. He called my name several times. Could be decent, right? Zhivago Lang said this to us. When Hubert Ingram did this and that, he gave me an ultimatum. This is how much I'm going to get paid after you get this particular thing paid. Win, lose, or draw. This is what's going to happen.
You have to make
this
preparation.
This is a plan.
Yes.
This is a plan.
Yes.
As a result of this layout, the entire country saw strength for 2 dispensations with Hubert Ingram. For 2 dispensations, in 92 and in 97.
So why are they fighting?
Perry Christie tried to do the exact same thing. The thing turned back on him. It didn't work out.
Okay. And
unfortunately, he brought some of those same people back to his second go-round in victory. And the same result happened. In fact, he lost his job the second time.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's very important to identify your team. Okay?
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever's going to happen in the constituencies, you have to let those things play out. You have to let it play out, right? But the FNM, for me, has to have a time slot to say, at this particular time, we're going to go to the constituency association to make a determination out of these X amount of candidates, and we're going to look at these things, and we're going to do this the democratic way. That hasn't come to the forefront just yet.
So the democratic way doesn't include the people of the Bahamas?
No, the democratic way, there's formality in each political organization.
I understand that, but when does that democratic process reach the people of the Bahamas?
On election day.
No, man, it's too late.
No.
This generation, listen to me, this generation wants to be a part of the process. That's what I'm trying to say to you. We've watched enough sports to want to know that pre-season, you have the NBA draft. You know where the person going. You know how much money they're getting paid. You already know what type of a position they can have.
God.
You have the preseason games, so you get a little eye into the situation. By the time the season gets hot, you already chose your team as to who you believe statistically would win the championship.
God.
That's a process that I'm familiar with.
You are talking from the position of an observer.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, as an observer, you expect some things to happen.
Do I stand alone?
No. All of us are observers.
So if we're unhappy,
but the only
is
time that your observation, the only time that you transition from observation to occupation is with participation. You have to get a part of the party that you want to be a part of.
Okay, so
you got to be in the party.
Yeah, but our people have a behavioral pattern that if they don't feel like they are part of it, they will participate, but they can participate in a white T-shirt. And when they go in that poll,
but you're still talking the same thing I talk.
I'm agreeing with you now because now I understand what you're saying. This is politics in the Bahamas.
If you want to see a candidate for a particular constituency, let's say hypothetically you are in Southern Shores, right? Let's use Southern Shores. Okay. If you are in Southern Shores, there are what I understand to be 4 candidates. One candidate decided to be able to pull back. Now I understand there's 2 or 3 candidates in Southern Shores right now, right?
Okay, good.
For the Free National Movement. Okay.
I like it.
One of the candidates I had here, Miriam Emanuel. Okay. Now I got a call to say that Donnelly wanted to be able to come and sit with me.
Of course.
I said, tell Donnelly come sit with me.
Yeah, she needs to.
But I ain't hear it yet.
That's fair.
I hear it yet.
Okay, good.
All right. So this extended to all persons, FNM, PLP, and different. I don't care, right? You could come here. I like to talk politics. Come sit with me. Let's talk, right? But the truth is, the fact of the matter is that the participation for Miriam Emanuel was not only Miriam showing up by herself. She came with her husband, and she came with a part of the association.
Okay.
You need people in the association who can be able to stand up and cast a vote for you. That is the democracy in each political organization.
I agree.
Okay? If you're in the PLP, the only time that this process is supersede is when leadership comes in and said, can we do this and this? And someone seconds it from the organization, someone comes up and they confirm that particular thing. That is the democracy that exists in the FNM and the PLP. I don't know if the COI has that, but that's the democracy that exists here. You don't get to participate in that unless you are part of the constituency association. You don't.
Well, the chairman of the Free National Movement came in the studio, and I understood that he said that no one has yet...
No one's been ratified.
Ratified. That's what it's been said. So out of the potential 39 candidates, no one has been ratified as yet. No one has been given the green light that they're going to be on this ticket this round. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah, there's speculation. People saying some things already get ratified. Some other persons going on from a formal standpoint and saying 14 people get ratified. These things can't be true. The first thing you do... Listen, when I hear things, the first thing I do is call Fred or call... If I call Fred, I call Sons or I call Lincoln Bain. You can't tell me nothing.
Let me fix this, though. You, Howard Grant, the host of the foundation, you have access to make these calls, yes?
Of course.
The person on the street, they got the same access, you think?
No, but they got access to me.
They got access to you.
So when I tell you the information, because you know I don't talk fool here, and I can bring the people here, this is what it is. So all the speculation on social media and all these other things like that, I can't fight it. But I'm saying to you, I don't repeat it unless I know it's verified.
No, I give you that. But I'm also saying to you, not everyone desires to access you. So when
That's okay.
So when you look, no, what I'm saying, I'm going to the streets now. If the streets are confused, if the streets are dissatisfied, if the streets don't see what they desire in you.
From you say the streets, that's confusion.
That's what I'm saying to you. So how you can turn around and support? You're going to wait till the last hour? You're going to fix this in the last hour?
The streets is a representation of informal society. That is a casual conversation, that's speculation, that's allegations, that is a wind of a conversation.
Yes, it is.
The only time it becomes formalized is when you have it in a traditional setting, within the media space, where people who have validity, value, that you can be able to say, this fella ain't never lead me wrong. You could lean on the newspaper and say, this fella ain't never lead me wrong. You could lean on, I could be able to trust this source of information. How the hell you could trust a source of information, a Facebook page that just pop up? How you could trust these things? How you could trust these particular sources that just provide you information from anywhere? How can you trust a source that has never been ratified by a political organization? Dr. Dwayne Science ain't never say this particular person to speak for me. Listen to me. I tell the people right off the top, I want somebody to come in here and talk to me for the Free National Movement. I call formally administration and say, I want someone come in the studio and speak for me. That means who they send is certified, ratified, identified, authorized.
Yes, to be here.
You can't just come in here and say, boy, look at FNM.
No, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. You can get me sued. The devil is a liar.
You said it.
You can get me sued? No way.
Yeah.
No way. You got to know this information.
Well, listen, this is the season, Howard Grant. This is what they call silly season. I am here with you. I'm grateful. I sit on my own platform on Sundays, and I'm saying to you, I'm only interested in the truth. I'm not here to make one side look worse than the other. I am here simply to say the truth. That's it. Now, if you don't bring it, I ain't telling it.
What you're saying is facts.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
But you and I talked about the difference between facts and truth.
Okay, let's have a conversation.
No, we talk about facts. Facts are always... Okay, the fact is the FNM could have been in a position of being able to ratify 14 people when it was said on another space. That's a fact. Hold on, let's be decent.
Be decent. No, you ain't being decent right now.
This is decent. The fact is that information could have been 100% accurate. The truth is, as soon as she said, it was no longer.
I'm fighting you today.
Because facts can be modified.
I understand
for the
that.
expedience of the objective of the organization, facts will always be modified. The truth is only after ratification. That's it. The DNA called me and said, Howard, you could go there and start campaigning. I said, I can't campaign for nobody. I've never been ratified. You put my name in the paper yet? No, Howard, we can do that. I said, well, after you do it, then we can do it. Because ratification and public, even in Christianity, you have to make a public declaration of Jesus Christ. Even in marriage, you have to make a public declaration. Public declaration is ratification. You can't get to where you want unless you ratify.
Well, Shivago Lang made a good point. He texted me a while ago, and he says that, Michael Pintard for himself was actually ratified just before the election.
Absolutely.
And he won. And so I'm not going to fight Mr. Lang on that. But what I will say is that, are we now waiting till just before election for 30 of your candidates? That's all I'm saying. I just want to see the progress.
But I hate to talk like I'm trying to defend the Free National Movement or defend this process. I hate to talk like this.
Okay, let's talk.
There are men and women that are, for instance, if I could decide to go independent and do what I have to do and agitate for West Grand Bahama, so forth and so on, I have to leave this radio station.
That's correct.
I have to leave. If you decide to go independent, you have to leave.
Yeah, we got to leave.
Oh, so you can do it now? You don't know when the next general election is. You can do it now? Just because you got to make your money. You got to make your money. You got to take care of your family. You got to do what you got to do. Your car need gas, all these particular things. Campaigning don't give you no money. When you start a campaign, you only spending money.
You're spending money.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take your time in this space that you're in, right? And prepare yourself. Jeffrey Lloyd, who sat in this particular space. And others, whether it's Fred Mitchell, whether it's Jeffrey Lloyd, whether it's Obie Wilsham, all these people that sat in the media space, they did what they had to do without being able to promote one color or the other. And then when it was time, they transitioned.
You ain't like us. Vaughn Miller did the same thing.
When it was time, they transitioned.
Yeah.
Because they had to take care of themselves and their responsibility.
You so wicked. You so wicked.
You understand what I'm saying? You can't expect, let's just say hypothetically, they got a big name person from a big corporation who making some serious money and has a great deal of potential to be able to do some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay?
Anytime.
Now, them people could help just construct some things behind the scenes, but they cannot put themselves formally on the front line until the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because two things can happen. One, they vilify you, pull your name down, lie on you, fire you, say you thief, you this, you that, all these things. I mean, allegations, just speculations. We're just having a hypothetical conversation.
Yeah.
All these things happen now. You ruin your reputation, and when you hit the campaign trail, you come in here and then people just call you a thief.
Oh, this is a great conversation.
We living in the same Bahamas.
Throw those
and
numbers.
We have to be patient and be able to win the race.
You loving this, I tell
you, this is what I do, sir.
You glowing.
I tell you, this is what I do. I enjoy this.
But I told him
there are different perspective, traditions, and all these particular things, but this is how I view it from my age group and what I've observed over the years.
So for the public, we saying, hold on, baby, they coming.
The FNM now has to present a unified front.
Oh.
There's right today.
But I don't give it all your consultation for free. But I just saying. I ain't gonna give it too much free things.
Lord, Father Almighty.
You see how I pull all that information out of you? I just pull that out of you. But anyhow, go to your phone.
Yeah, because I don't want you to put him in a position.
And that's why I stopped you just now. I said it's too much. We didn't give out enough for the day.
Let me take this commercial break and get the news, guys. When we get back, we can dive into the conversation. I see your lines. The lines are lit up. 323-623-2, 325-4316. 325-4259, anywhere from the Family of Violence, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Be right back after this.
The foundation.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect, being able to chop these things down, have a good conversation with you guys. The lines are wide open right now. If you want to be able to call in and talk about some things, I'd love you to do so. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the Family of Violence, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. In the studio with Garth Roseborough. Garth, I just wanted to talk to it like that. I didn't want to.
No, I liked it. You see, what people don't understand about your show is that we got to dig until we get to the bottom. And that's what I like about coming here and sitting with you. You have that ability that if I jab you, you may flex, but you're coming right back, and we're going to jab until we get to the bottom of the situation. I do believe the observation that you had in terms of a time factor for many of the aspirants would also be financial.
It is financial.
And when you're dealing with finance, which is a very sensitive situation, there will be some delays. I could buy into that. I would not even fight that. I'm not that stupid or silly to believe that.
It is financial.
That is, yeah, I could see that.
I know some people as candidates and former candidates could tell you some things about organizations, right? And you have to know that I've had my proximity to these things.
Mm-hmm.
I practically ran my mother's campaign. And if you know anything about how I do my work and how I do it, I'm very astute and very observant. I take all this information in. I understand. I always need to know why. My mother bought me a brand new watch at the age of 11. I was 11. And this was an analog watch. I always had digital Casio, right?
Yeah.
And now I get to be a big boy and I learn how to be able to tell time, just by a quick glance.
Like Seiko,
right?
Timex.
Seiko, something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's a nice watch, right? And this watch was just ticking on my hand, tick, 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 tick. I on the toilet looking at it, tick, tick, tick. I said, how does tick? I destroyed the whole watch. My God.
Just to see why it ticking.
I need to know how does this tick? Where did tick come from?
Yeah.
Where the consistency and the rotation of this tick come from? I need to know why. Now, that ain't always a good thing. Because some why
you mash
ain't
up
your
everything.
business.
Yeah, you're mashing up. You're mashing them too much. You're mashing.
But being a part of the political organizations, I also needed to know why. I needed to know and understand why, if money was sent, hypothetically, for the candidate, why is the candidate never to touch the money? I learned these things on the campaign trail. You candidates ain't never supposed to go in their personal pockets, put their hand in their pocket. You don't have a problem. 40 people for $5. My baby hungry right now. I was trying to get formula. I only have $2.75. Sir, look right here. They got the 75 cents in pennies, right? And they got the $2 American dollars crumple up. And you say, but my son just get $5 because the thing costs $7.75, but I just need $5. You put your hand in your pocket for $5. You put your hand in your pocket for $5.
You know what is amazing?
You will never leave that crowd. But you could say to your general, listen, I want you to take care of her.
When I ran, and I attempted to run for 2012, and I just want to thank the caucus at the time because they were very strong. The caucus was a group of people who were very encouraging. They put their money where their mouth was.
You didn't get ratified, right?
No, I actually spent $30,000 of our own money at that particular time, right? In a very short time. I probably spent that in a year's time, right? But what I recognized at that time, the Carmichael constituency, the people never asked me for anything. They never asked me for anything. There were one or two houses where I would go into a house and you see the flies and flying around the house and roach, crawling around and, people offering you food and you can't say no. But I just tell them, just wrap it up for me, please, baby. I'm going to carry that. And, 2 doors down, someone said, but I eat all day, so hungry. I said, well, boy, I just happen to be blessed by God with 2 plates of food for you.
God, you can't do that.
You're supposed to do that, but what you want me to do?
God, you re-gift the people food.
I just say this politics people trying to get from you and you trying to get in. It ain't no easy situation. So when you spoke about time and finances and restraints and constraints, I understand exactly what you're talking about at that light.
But everyone.
Yeah.
It goes for
ain't
everyone.
easy. I don't want people out there to listen and think that it's
everyone.
easy. It's not an easy situation
It
I'm
goes
talking
for
about.
everyone.
But we want to have some satisfaction at this
There are
particular time.
candidates that have the potential to do great things. And unfortunately, for a great deal of people in our society, you may not be in the greatest position for you and your family. And that doesn't negate one of the things that political organizations gauge you by is potential. Like the caller indicated, that they look at all these things, they vet you. People come to me, Howard, they ask me questions, but I was at this thing 2 or 3 times, right? Howard, my neighbors, Howard, they ask you, but me, some people came around and asked me, but people were following me, trying to figure out how I would move around, who I would go to. I'm telling you, this is a real thing.
Look, I want you to believe this.
It's just a real thing.
People follow you home at night.
I'm not talking about.
I agree.
No, I'm talking about the vetting process.
I know.
The vetting process right? You would have black cars,
Yes, I'm telling you
tinted
this.
cars out.
Yeah, following you, I'm telling you.
trying to see where you go and all these things.
Yes.
This is a part of the vetting process, right? They need to know where you live. They need to know your neighbors around you. They need to know if you was a thief. They need to go to your other work jobs and so forth. The political organization need to know what they're up against when they're dealing with you.
Yeah.
They need to know.
Yeah.
Okay? You could tell them anything because their mouth could say anything.
Yes.
But they need to find out and check this thing off the list.
So once you open yourself for public life, I want you to know that you'll be thoroughly checked out.
You have to be.
That is true.
You have to be. The new organizations may not do that type of vetting, right? So the COI, I don't know their vetting process, but the F&M is a 50-year-old party. The PLP is a 70-year-old party.
They ain't no easy parties.
They ain't playing no
They
games
ain't
with you.
easy. They're very strict and they go by their guidelines.
They ain't playing no games with you.
I agree with you.
Yeah, people think they can just come up, I's a good PLP, I've been a PLP all. No. Nobody care about that. They need to know your acumen. And this is why Hubert Ingram could make an assessment of who is good, but not necessarily studied. He could say this one or that one is good, but they're lazy. Meaning that not because you sit in this position you've arrived, you still have more to go. Mm-hmm. Studying never stops. The assessment of these particular things never stop. You're always in the position of being able to understand that you on your job. At the funeral, you on your job.
Yes, boy. You can't miss.
At the wedding, you are on your job.
You can't miss.
You can't be in a position and the people ask you to speak and you're talking stupidness. You are on your job, sir. Be prepared.
You know something, Howard? And I like how you said that. One time when I was campaigning, I had a Chevy Astro van that I used for plumbing. And my worker called me on Prince Charles. He says, hey, Garth, the front tire came off. I think the axle is broken. So I was like in jeans and T-shirt. And, you know, I went there to see what was wrong. I was working in Seabreeze at that time on a tiling job. And I went, checked out the van. But, of course, you know, I went underneath the van, and I'm all greasy and dirty. And I look like a Joneser, right? When I check myself in the mirror, I look like a Joneser, right? And I said, well, my God, this thing break down right next to the Seventh-day Adventist Church where I used to be a pastor. I said, when them people see me now, they can say, look how far he's fallen.
My God.
Look at him. You look like a Joneser.
My
you know.
God.
But your image in politics is very, very, very important. And when you think someone is not looking,
They are always watching.
They're always watching you.
They're always watching.
You got to be so careful.
Let me take a telephone call. Caller, go ahead.
God, how you doing?
Everything good, man? What's
Dr.
happening?
Anton.
What's going on, God?
Man, it's always good to hear from you, my brother.
Same here, my brother. Everything cool, Howard?
Yeah, man, everything good.
All right, and good afternoon to the nation.
You're laughing. What happened?
I laughing at some stuff that I heard.
Yeah.
But I'll just be turning in the wait and see if you all have the cojones to touch it, right? I see y'all ain't touch it yet, but nonetheless, look, as it relates to candidates, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the problems that and God,
mm-hmm.
you in my view, God, you were correct in your statement regarding opposition politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And readiness. That's how I stated. Opposition politics and readiness, right? When you are playing from behind and you want to get ahead,
yes,
you have to be twice as fast. You got to be twice as prepared. You got to be working twice as hard, right? In order to overtake the person who you want to overtake.
That's how I think.
Correct?
Like a strategist. I think that way. That's the way I think. Because I like to win.
When everybody's sleeping, you got to be waking.
Yes, I believe in that.
That's how it goes. What do you say, Howard?
Yeah, that's the truth. But that didn't necessarily mean that everybody could see what you're doing.
That's true.
Because if you're doing it behind the scenes, now let's take Shannon Cartwright for instance. When the Free National Movement had made that snap election call, and they go into snap election, the only person in the Free National Movement that was prepared
Shannon Cartwright.
was Shannon Cartwright.
Boy, and he was hard.
However, the entire PLP, what they had to do in this entire time was preparation.
Opposition politics.
You have to be prepared.
That's it.
You have to be prepared.
Politics.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I was trying to say.
That's what it is. And another point, right? To address something that you were speaking to, Howard. One of the problems that we have, one of the biggest problems that shortchanges the Bahamian public, outside of not having a real say in who becomes your member of parliament and or who becomes your prime minister, like they do in the United States, which we do not have that system, right? One of the ways that people can become to know you is what way God know it. What is one of the ways, one of the crucial ways voters can become to know an individual, their heart, and begin to align.
You have to do the town. You have to do your town hall meetings. You have to do the door to door. You have to be able to reach out to the constituency.
Which cause for what? Which cause for what? Ultimately, from the foundation level, it's for giving of what?
Your time. Of course. Your time.
Time.
Of course.
We are always shortchanged on the political, and this goes to the point and further strengthening what you were saying, God, right? Mm-hmm. You need time to do these things. It ain't just money. You need money too, but time is more important. You have to dedicate that time and know how to apply that time.
Anton, right? I won't be decent with you. I won't be decent with you. I won't be decent. And the line's lit right up, but I can be decent with you.
Please.
That time can also be a catch-22.
Howard.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please, don't be decent, man. Let's just talk, man.
Okay, now let's talk then.
In the name of Jesus.
Let's talk. That time could be a catch-22. Let's talk. Let me tell you why. Because even though your political organization purports you to be the best person in this constituency, now you didn't necessarily say that because the people didn't meet you yet, but your party say, I am selling Anton. He's the best man. He's the best man. However, if I give you too much time, you can really see the ways of Anton. You may be someone who is short patient or short of temper. That is the disadvantage of the political organization who has already chosen you.
Howard. Who is that disadvantage? Short, medium, whatever run?
Anton, the FNM and the PLP have done the exact same thing.
You're missing the point, Howard.
I know. I'm missing your point. I agree with you.
That's a part of the problem, Howard.
And I agree with you. That's a part of the problem.
It's a part of the problem.
But unless and until we fix this in our system.
I'll end with this, Howard. I'll end with this. God and Howard and the nation, that's a big part of the problem.
I agree with you.
The strategies that are being demised, or being revised, or being discussed to the disadvantage of the constituents. It's never it's always what is going to give the party the advantage, and the people get left behind. We need to change. See, we don't have enough time for us to get in. Anyway, let me just end with this point. Howard and God and the nation, right? Howard, you started to say that persons who may have big names don't want to come out, and if they come out too early, then they may be ostracized or people.
Yeah, it's economics first and foremost, and then secondly, you don't want there to be a possibility of being able to be pulled down by baseless allegations.
Listen, Howard, I understand exactly where you're coming from, and my point is not to fight you in any which way, shape, or form. But my point, Howard and Garth and the nation, is towards national reform. That will be meaningful for the true advancement of politics in our country, independence in our country, democracy in our country, and strengthening the people in our country. That's why I'm making these points. And I again maybe with this point, Howard. Look, man, that is one of the biggest part of the problems we have. We have a bunch of weaklings and chickens and people who want the glory, but they don't want to do the work. They don't want to take the ridicule. They don't want to put the blood, sweat, and tears in. A bunch of CSs is what I call them, right? They go hard behind the scenes. But when it's time to go to war, they ain't nowhere around. They ain't picking up no sword. They ain't lifting no weight. They ain't doing no heavy lifting. But they come around, and then you have some leaders who just allow that to happen. And you wonder why we continue to see one-term government. And the last time we had a two-term government was under the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. Some you said, Lord forgive me, right? I didn't even offer my condolences to the English. Please permit me, Howard.
Okay,
Let me offer my sincere, heartfelt condolences to former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, and Mrs. Dolores Ingram and their family on the passing of their loved one. my sincere, heartfelt condolences. Because, time is always so limited, and it's such a crunch, and there's so many things to say in any event. Look, man, we have to change the way we do things in this country.
I like
and
it,
the leaders, y'all got to take control and do the right things by the people and stop playing these petty politics, man. Stop playing these petty politics.
I appreciate
because
it, Anton.
only thing you're doing is causing the party at the end of the day. Thank you all for the opportunity. God bless.
I appreciate you, Anton. I want to say this, though. I never see a problem in these things. I don't know. I guess that's how my mind made up. That's how my mind is constituted. I don't see a problem with your strategy. And so now I devise a plan that supersedes your strategy.
That's what we do.
That's it. I know how you come in. I know the F&M coming, I know the PLP coming, but as an independent, if I'm going to be in a particular constituency, I create a space and utilize the tools that are available to me today to touch everyone and to transform their lives. I was ratified for the DNA less than 90 days before the general election. I was ratified for the DNA less than 90 days before the general election. I was one of the last persons to be ratified for the DNA. Right?
It wasn't financial.
I touched the ground, and no, it wasn't nothing to do with financial because I was already broke. Right? I touched. It wasn't financial. I wasn't working for nobody. I just come from working for the government, and I stopped working for the government, and I had a little couple dollars. I had nothing to talk about. Right?
Yeah.
I touched the ground, and I touched the ground running, looking for votes, and I know I got 300 and some votes, and I said to myself, if they'd give me some more time, I could at least double this. I could get 600 and some.
So we're back to the time conversation.
I didn't have enough time. As an independent, I'm not talking about, the DNA made these decisions similar to how political organizations made decisions. What the COI did as an independent organization was a good move. Mm-hmm. But for formal organizations such as the F&M and the PLP, there is no expectation that they're going to move away from that, not for this dispensation.
Okay, so let me flip it for you. Time now is dwindling. You agree? It's dwindling. It's going down till the election. The days are getting fewer. Each day that passes is a day closer to the election.
Okay.
Okay? When Hubert Alexander Ingram was the prime minister, he cut the time short.
Ingram?
Time. I just using the word time. I'm just playing.
Hold on.
I'm playing with
Ingram
the word
cut
time.
the time short?
No, minutes.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Time. I'm just playing with the word time.
Yeah.
Time allocation, is it important for victory that if Hubert Alexander Minnis extended another year for the election, would that have made a difference? Or are we saying that
you might have seen a larger margin?
We still have time to do some things to get prepared for the next election.
You may have seen a larger margin of the Free National Movement members in the House of Assembly, but I believe that the outcome was already written in the sand.
It was cast.
It was already cast.
So the additional time may have meant that a few of those members of parliament may have been retained.
The only reason some members of parliament didn't find themselves victorious is because they themselves believed that they had time.
Okay,
and that's
it.
Jesus God.
Let's
just be decent, right? You thought you had enough time to do these things, right? You figure that if you get these next X amount of months, right, at least you could roll out to the end of the year. You could put some money up. You could do this. You could do that. You were focusing on a lot of them was focusing on family.
Could I be decent with you?
However, that time hit you quickly. You wasn't prepared for that. The only person who was prepared was Shannon Conroy.
The winning formula that I know, theologically speaking, from...
The Minnis wasn't even prepared. You know that, right?
That's what I'm saying to you.
Minnis put them old sign up there with wrinkle under his bed.
But I know why he did it. We can talk about that on another show. But before you go to the caller, Howard, these three facts exist, or principles in the Bible. These are important. Time, talent, and money. We can talk about that when you come back.
Let's take a quick commercial break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
Foundation.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back, right?
Everybody Wins Live is bringing you the ultimate giveaway, a brand new Cybertruck. For every $30 spent, you're in the drawing for the ultimate grand prize, a Cybertruck. Drawn live at the Vibes Cartel concert March 29th. You'll also be automatically entered to win tickets to see the world boss himself. 25 lucky winners every single week. Visit everybodywinslive.com to get into the game. See website for full terms and conditions. Must be 18 or over to participate.
Great Commissions Ministries is God's storehouse. They have been caring for the poor, homeless, and hurting since 1987. You are invited to support their Stop and Drop program by dropping off some food items in their barrels and some cash in their bottles. You can donate an offering each month or pay your tithes online to Great Commissions through the Givelify or SunCash apps. Help them to shelter the homeless, feed the hungry, pay your service, and support the Live to Give program. Call Great Commission Ministries, God's Storehouse, at 325-5801 for further information, or stop by the office on Wolf Road. Be blessed.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen days and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
Craving pizza? Marco's Pizza has you covered. For a limited time, get our delicious large one-topping pizza for just $10. Carry out only. That's right, just $10 for cheesy, melty goodness with your favorite topping. Perfect for any time. Hurry into your nearest Marco's Pizza. This deal is available at participating locations only. Don't miss out on the flavor you love for a price you'll adore. Marco's Pizza, always magnifico.
Now let me see now. 326 ETIC. Hello? This Epic Eckert Battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant, straight to the lines. Lines are wide open. Call on the line, go ahead.
Hey, Howard, what's up, man?
Everything good, what's up?
Hey, God, what's up, brother?
Hold on, let's just take a pause to it. It's the second time in 2 days I feel like you got a mandate. Go ahead, I ain't gonna fight you.
No, Howard.
Go ahead.
Ain't nobody can pay me to call no talk show, and they know that. If anyone ever tried that, I'd call any more talk show.
Oh my God.
Hog nowhere to rub their skin.
Praise God.
But anyway, Howard, I want to ask you and God something that with the Free National Movement,
Mm-hmm.
the norm paradigm in this country, when we come in towards the general election, you find the opposition. Even when we were in the opposition, you find what we call boots in the ground, and you start seeing what we call the money start to circulate in the constituencies.
Mm-hmm.
But as I been informed by the fly on the wall, right, and people in the Free National Movement, some of y'all big donors take a back seat because this is not the F&M.
You talking to the F&Ms? You say some of y'all. Who's the y'all?
I don't mean you. I
Let's be
use
very
that.
clear.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. I mean some of your big donators took a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at it, as much as they might say something about Mr. Minnis, during this kind of time, when he was trying to, as he became the prime minister, to take it from then, Mr. Christie. Boots was down on the ground, money was down on the ground, just circulating around. So, and I can say this to you, right? A lot of those persons who I see want to offer themselves to the F&M. God, some of them could barely put gas in their car.
I have been there.
This ain't the first time.
I've had candidates in my party
You know,
who
I mean,
And in the PLP.
who I had
Stop
to
it.
pay for the gas and tires.
There are
Howard,
candidates
that's
in the
what I'm saying.
PLP who give themselves now that are in good positions financially over the years, but when we first come there, they had to
Broke.
borrow a suit.
Oh yeah, broke.
I
Nothing about it.
understand that, but Howard, you know what I've learned from being around and being full hand in hand with Leslie Miller? When you want to enter yourself as, and I mean this to the PLP or FNMs who are independents, when you want to enter yourself, the people in some constituencies got 4,000 or 5,000 people, right? I don't care what no one say. Howard, when you go to those doors, sometimes the people I'm telling you got you hanging on the look at my trend. Some of them walk. I can remember when they used to walk Leslie Miller in the house in which was Tall Pines.
Yes.
I'd open the cover up, Mr. Miller hanging at knee. And you know, people will say, "I ain't the job of a politician, or I ain't the job of someone who want to win." Boy, but money and time
Money and time
goes together.
and
I
talent.
appreciate you, DeWitt. Thank you so much for your telephone call, my brother. DeWitt said something. He said, fly on the wall. DeWitt, I want to say this to you. You said you get this information from the fly on the wall. Well, the first time I heard about flies in the Word of God was a pestilence.
Yeah.
The first time it was a plague.
In Egypt.
The first time I hear about them was a plague and a pestilence. Now, let's just be decent about this. You shouldn't be listening to flies or crows or anything like that. The only time you could hear is hear from strength. That's why it come from the horse mouth. It don't come from an ass mouth. It don't come from a cow or horse mouth. Horse is a representation of strength.
Yeah, but Balaam had to listen to the ass too.
Yeah, because of his demise. Someone had to talk to him quickly.
Or he'd be dead.
Okay.
So sometimes you got to listen to the ass too.
I just want to be decent with
I'm
you.
very
I just
decent
trying to
today.
tell you today.
Yeah.
Everything, you see, we've already seen playing out right now in this time and dispensation that some people are overzealous with their power.
Yeah.
They won't say anything.
Speaking out of turn.
I know.
Yeah, speaking out of turn. Yeah, I
You
got you.
can't tell me. I know.
I got you.
These are the flies.
I got you.
No one from any political organization, if they have not dubbed you, ratified you rather, and provided you with this opportunity and called me with formality and said, Howard, this particular person is speaking on behalf of the Free National Movement, I can't hear what you're saying. I can't hear what you're saying. I ain't the type of people, I don't listen to no gossip and no juicy mouth, nothing. I ain't into that. I can't hear what you're saying. I need a text from Dwayne Sands or Fred Mitchell or somebody to say you talking on behalf of these particular organizations.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because I know you got your chairman, you got your deputy chair, you got your vice chair, you got your this, you got your that. Ain't none of them showing up today, but you showing up with all the information. Come from around me, eh?
You ain't want no flies.
Come from around me.
No flies.
I got flit for that. We ain't got the time for that. Let's take a telephone call. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, guys.
Everything good, man. What's happening?
Yeah, why are you on this radio? Why is you at the Toastmaster on Anton running on? Why are you on this radio acting like I anyone care who they send in my area? I don't care who they send around here.
To me,
I don't care. There was a fellow who been in Golden has been on both sides of the divide. I don't care who they send around here. Because they candidates right now don't matter. I want to know what Michael Pentar's strategy is, because that's going to make the decision regarding. That's what I want to know.
Now, you mean for the Free National Movement?
I don't know what Michael Pentar is dealing with, because obviously when you lay a foundation, because you're all talking about time. You're all talking about time on this radio. You know what time is?
Yes.
You ever had all the money in your pocket and you're supposed to build a house. In 3 years, you're supposed to build a house and you ain't put that foundation down. Right? And you keep promising people, yeah, well, that house coming. But she said, man, you didn't have this money. Right? The issue in this country is your track record. Your track record. You telling the people, oh, give me more time. Right? Cost of living high. Cost opportunities for behemoths is far reach. Right? Then you talk about basic issues are still untouched in this country. We ain't know this deal from BPL. It's issues.
Well, you're right so far. You're on target.
Doesn't touch the average person life in this country.
Yes.
You think people worrying about if you send Vaughan Miller or whoever they sell in this area? I don't care. I don't know what Michael Pentar, the Prime Minister, who have ultimate supreme power can do, because some MPs can't do nothing. without cabinet approval.
Hold on. Michael Pindar ain't the prime minister yet?
No, he's saying him or the opposition.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
They just want answers for a plan that's going to solve the issues of the country because there's so many issues that are yet unsolved, and these people are asking for more time.
The PLP asking you for more time right now.
He's saying FNM too. The FNM saying they need more time for candidates too. So he's saying someone has to bring a plan. Either the FNM brings a plan now, or if they want to continue to delay, because right now the people ain't got no more time left. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, why but no boots on the ground? The people, if the people mind and made, you also got to understand something. You made a statement just now, but if he didn't call the election, he had no. People mind was made up with minutes.
That's what I said.
People.
No, everybody, listen to me. The net wasn't going to break trying to get in the boat, but he might have catch more than 7 fish. That's all I said.
He would have cost more damage. He might have got voted if he'd have stayed longer.
You think he gets less fish?
Listen to me. Then you don't.
He's trying to make me save himself full, but I got it. That's the first time I ever heard that one.
Go ahead.
Give us more time. That played out, man. That line only working for people who you actually never used that on before. Right? The PLP had too much time now. Listen, we looking for, you ain't got to deliver. And people, believe you could deliver now. You come and ask us for more time. What you do already?
Okay, I win him on that. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the word on the street.
That's a good one. I appreciate your
I love that call.
I love that call. With the telephone call.
That's exactly what's happening.
Let's go to the next line. Call on the line. Go ahead.
I love that.
Hey, good afternoon and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother. What's happening?
God.
Hey, my brother.
Hey, look here. The PLP and the FNM, right, had events on one night.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then when you do the check with the amount of people that they compiled collectively as the government, as the governing party and the opposition, the official opposition.
Tell me.
They know they are. You guys been on the politics scene just as possibly long as I've been or longer, right? And I've never no campaign start as scared. Especially from the government, the governing party, or the opposition. It was always bold actions they took prior to this. What would be saying now? It appears that is no more base for the PLP. This is only what I'm seeing, what I'm watching. The base with the PLP and the FNM once had, it is no longer, and they don't. And because of victimization in this country, people ain't gonna really speak nothing until the time when the time arrived. But the base of the PLP, and the FNM, the last night, it demonstrated. Because when you can hear people like my old political friend DeWitt calling the radio, right? Then you know it's time. It's time, right? It's time. The time is now, right? When you get out DeWitt calling the radio, it's election time, and when you can see the PLP and the FNM struggling to bring the base what they once had before. We have to be honest. They are struggling to bring people to come listen to them because why?
Well, it was rainy
people
weather.
People are tired of listening to the same thing over and over from
That's
those
crazy
two
what you said.
political
I
parties.
like this call.
It's a good call.
I like it.
I know they had inclement weather last night, so let me ask one question that Howard and I do not know. How many people do you assume or estimate was at the PLP's meeting last night?
Well, based on what I heard, a troll uttering, right?
As a fly on the wall.
Going from a troll to a fly to troll. Go ahead.
One had about almost 300 persons. The one inside Centerville, and the next one had about almost 400, right? But so when he saw those numbers, I know it was less because it wasn't more, right? But he had to try to up the ante a little bit to make it seem like.
So you don't trust the troll or the fly. I got you.
Right? But because he used those type of numbers, I know it was less. And then he said the FNM had about 200 persons.
I was there.
What you call it.
I was there.
And I know it was more.
I was there. The F&M had about almost 600 people.
No, but this is what he's saying to you. He said, based upon how the fella structure it.
Yeah.
That's why he's a troll. He should go back under the bridge.
Yeah, but I was
based upon how the fella structure it, he make it seem like more for the PLP, but you know it was less based upon how he structured it.
I got it.
Because I know, just because he said what he said, none of those, they just don't. It was less for the PLP,
listen,
right?
you can't be listening.
But the point I was raising, right? Collectively together, they can attract 1,000, 1,200 persons.
Okay,
together.
that's a point. It's a point we make.
And that's not based on the weather.
1,000 people.
You think that's just based on political?
You couldn't split 1,000 people.
Political environment at this time.
That's the political weather. Howard. That's the weather. That's the political
Not the
weather.
sick. That's a good call. That's a good call.
I like it.
This is a good call. I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. Let me get the next one real quick. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Yes. How you doing, Howard? Let me just shut down this radio right there. How you doing, Doc?
Hey, what's up?
Good, my brother.
Yeah. Hold on a second. There you go. Let me give you some numbers, right? Because people like to tell you what I believe, what I think, what I feel, what I heard. Let me tell you what I know. Okay. At 150 days, 155 days away from the election, do you know what occurred in 2016? Ministers removed as leader of a majority official opposition.
Yes.
By 7 members of his team. 155 days.
Yes.
Before the election. 121 days before his election. Okay, ministers, the first time ministers uttered "It's the people time" was January 10th, Rule Day, downtown, in the front of Parliament. March wasn't there, even though he was wearing a black shirt. March was still at our key.
Okay, go ahead.
Standing there with 4 candidates. He had not named the majority of his candidates, and in fact, some of his candidates actually dropped out. I'm not going to mention their name because they're in the public domain right now.
I like it so far.
I remember this.
Keep going.
You understand?
Keep going.
Let's talk about what has happened since the election day. It has been 1,288 days since the Progressive Party was elected. Okay, constitutionally, there's 650 days left before the next election day. 650 days. Okay, that's almost 2 years. Okay? See, because what happens is constitutionally, we go and we use this date of September 16. No, there's 5 years from the date of the first sitting of Parliament.
So what you're saying to me is that the F&M could squander another 483 days and put themselves back.
Squander. Tell me.
I like it,
tell you. I'm saying to you, I want people who listen to understand that you meet, the first meeting I think was the 6th or the 7th of October, which is 5 years from then. The Prime Minister has to call the date, and if he doesn't call it, the Governor General does, and it has to be set within 90 days, which then brings it to January 4th of 2027. Okay? This is, would you say the truth is unmutable, can't be changed. Okay?
No.
We're looking at the numbers.
I write the numbers down.
I know you got the numbers.
I write those numbers down and I do the maths.
Yes.
Now you don't like the word I use, squander.
That's what it was.
You don't like squander.
No, you don't like squander.
Okay, let me fix squander.
Let me address you. Right? Let me use your sports analogy, right? Can you imagine that you use the same strategy every single game, every single time that you have? You see, even a football team or basketball team looks at the game that is being played and look at the players. Let's talk about these flyers on the wall, these people who's calling. Have the PLP named their 39 candidates?
They got 32. I saw that. I said they got 32.
I didn't ask you that. No, I didn't ask
No.
you.
Okay, the answer to that is they named 32.
No, they have not.
What you mean they named 32? They got 32 sitting in the House of Assembly.
But see,
they got 32 right now in the House of Assembly. I know them by name. I'm talking about the reality, not the facts that they have sitting in Parliament. Have the PLP name one I said right now, until you unseat them, they got 32.
I know by June 6th, we can be able to see it. See, Alan, I got to be able to go to this commercial break, my brother. Thank you so very kindly for your telephone call. Quick break, guys. We'll be right back after this.
Foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Inland Revenue is here to guide and help you with all things business license and VAT. On March 25th and 26th at the National Baseball Stadium, the DIR will host a financial symposium with multiple government and private agencies. Then in the month of April, learn all about VAT through our in-person and virtual sessions during what we call VAT Education Month. For more information, follow Capital DIR Bahamas on all social media platforms.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I got 2 more telephone calls before I can be able to wrap up everything right here and see if I can get to 1 or 2 of these texts. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, Howard.
Hey, what's up?
Everything's cool, my brother. And good afternoon to Gosta with you.
Yeah, Gosta right here.
But you sound strong. You sound strong.
2 things. One thing. You mentioned on the front page of the newspaper that Joe Beth is saying that none of the oil in the Bahamas is from Venezuela.
Joe Beth says that the Bahamas is not going to be impacted by the Venezuelan oil threat from the United States of America. This is what she's indicating. She said that the position of the U.S. ambassador does not impact the Bahamas.
Or from Shell, yeah? Having spent 5 years in the oil industry myself, working for the second largest French oil company, maybe she's got her facts mixed up, but if she provides a certificate of origin or a bill of lading, that would say where the origin of the oil is. But it's unlikely it's coming from the States. Then you've got ABC, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, and Trinidad shut down. So those are the nearest points that we could get oil from, as well as the main load ports in Venezuela. So even if it's put into a facility like Borco, the generic fingerprint of the oil still goes back to Venezuela. Fair?
My God. Wow.
And point number 2, I understand that you're trying to get Chester Cooper on the show.
I would like to. I can reach out to him, see if he can be able to sit with me.
Yeah, so I extend the invitation also. There's a lot of questions regarding tourism and investments in the Bahamas. And if you do manage to get him on and take him up, and he takes me up on my challenge, tell him to bring some high top tennis shoes or some platform shoes so you can measure up. Eh?
Joby, I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much for that. Right? Let's take the last telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Mr. Grant and to God Roseborough.
Hey.
Boy, I prayed to God you would call today, and you called, so God is good.
Mr. Grant, I have a good way you could make some money, for your show.
Okay.
Listen, what you need to do is at the beginning of every week, you charge people like Critical Thinker who calls with all of these ads for
Bradley, behave yourself.
Let them bring $500 a week, and for every comment, when he calls his show back 2 and 3 times, you take $50 for every call. All right? But you need to let them bring $500 at the beginning of every week, because he can call you every show, all right, 3-4 times a day.
Okay.
That's some way for you to make some money. Now, I have a question for you and God. If an opposition party lies to the Bahamian people constantly while they're in opposition, if they spew unfounded facts and stuff on the airways, and if they have to conduct themselves in a manner to where they're distracting the Bahamian people with power, do you think that they're going to suddenly start to tell the truth, or would they continue on that vein because they would be able to dupe the Bahamian people with lies in opposition? Do you think that they're going to suddenly start telling the truth when they become in power?
No, I ain't gonna talk. I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. I'm not going to talk from the perspective of a political organization because I don't know of whom you speak. But I could say to you, my grandmother said to me that a liar
It's a thief.
It's
and,
unheard
and the thief could kill.
Okay.
Okay.
And it ain't no expectation that they're going to change that path simply because you afford them an opportunity. They probably lie to get that. But I cannot say that
Yeah.
and attach that to any political organization.
I agree.
We're going to deal with the principle of deception.
Now, how a time going? I will hear them numbers you crunch based on that.
I crunch the numbers. I crunch Seattle numbers. Seattle says that constitutionally there's 605 days before the next general election. From a constitutional standpoint, for us to be able to do that, in the next 41 days from today, and 41 days from today, the PLP has decided to be able to launch their bid for re-election. In 41 days, that means that we have 564 days in access
My God.
to the next general election. Now,
Have
why would the
mercy.
PLP?
This early.
Why would the PLP
Say things like this.
shoot the gun 41 days and you got another 564 days to go from a constitutional standpoint?
Okay.
Okay.
What is that saying?
Okay. That it says to me that the time has been depleted. If the PLP is taking on this position, there's no expectation for them to drag out a campaign for 2 years.
Not for no 2 years. That ain't gonna happen.
There's no expectation for them to
That
do
ain't
that.
gonna happen.
Okay, so that's one. And he's indicated that the Free National Movement from January 10th of 2016 made the first utterance of "It's the people's time" or the next general election. If we use that particular mathematics,
Where does that
then
land
we
us?
say 605 days minus 122 days, then the Free National Movement got 483 days. The Free National Movement got 483 days before they could be able to make those utterances again. But they would be behind the ball because the PLP already didn't kick off the ball. It's 41 days, we will see official movement and clarity after this Lent season into the PLP moving into the next general election.
Have mercy. So right now, time is not on your side.
Time ain't on nobody's side.
You may have the talent, and I think you do have a good group of people that I've actually met.
Who?
Well, we got people like our good friends.
The F&M?
Yeah, they got 1 or 2 good people in there. I'm telling you, they got some good
Well, I
candidates.
think they got some good
They got some
people
great
in there.
candidates in there, right? But we got to field and we got to get to know some of these people. I know they said that.
Let them come to the radio.
C. Allen said that you can't run.
What you scared of?
Yeah, you can't run the race the same way you did before. You got to change some things, right? So what I'm seeing now, I don't see a difference.
Well, you ain't gonna run backwards.
I don't see a
The
difference.
only thing you could change is technique. You
Yes.
could change your eating
Bring your
style.
technique.
You could change all these particular things, but you still got to run forward.
Yeah, let me meet some of these people, man.
You got to run. And so if you guys are interested in being able to do that, I've already extended myself. Like I said, y'all saw me had Miriam Emanuel on. Some other person
I've had
says,
some of them on my
Howard,
show too.
Howard, I want to come on your show. All right, no problem. The people tell me, y'all can't come on Slack. So don't come with your hands swinging. Know that this is the formality and this is a part of being able to touch your constituents who we talk to every day in these particular space. So give me a call, 827-0111.
You got any text real quick?
If you're interested, we could be able to do that. Let's see if we can read a couple of texts before we get out of here, maybe 1 or 2. All right. Here we go. Lord, this phone ringing for somebody. So it says, to tell the truth is brave. To tell a lie is a coward. A liar is never believed when telling the truth. This is a text that's coming through. It says, Colby Davis is arguing that we don't meet the origin from Venezuela. The origin is determined from the final product, and the oil is blended, making it in another region, right? Scotia Bank. Oh,
No.
this is a whole different story. Somebody else texted me about Scotia Bank. I don't know what that is, right? So it says, prior to the 2017 election, many candidates were not ratified until 2 months before the election. This is true, right? And this only goes back to what we're saying, right? This only goes back to what we're saying, God. The truth of the matter is that everyone has to use a strategy for longevity. The PLP trying to use their strategy for longevity, and the FNM needs to use their strategy for longevity. Everybody trying to figure out, how can I get the most out of what I need in as little time as possible?
Isn't that something?
And I don't know whether or not